Well, good morning. It's another sunny day here in the land of the cliffs. I'm here at the west coast of Sweden still. I'm staying in this little cabin at the summer resort. Very nice now early in the season. It's actually the first week they are open. Quite calm, it's nice, but I do get a bit of a summer camp feeling from this place. But it is an incredible landscape to explore here and well worth the visit. So this morning I'm doing a short hike around the half island, the south part of the half island I'm on. Kind of sprained my right ankle last night. Nothing serious, it's really light, so I can kind of walk, but I'm limping slightly every now and again. So I'm going to take it quite easy today. I do have quite a drive tomorrow. But we'll explore, see what we see, and see if we can capture a couple of nice images. I might be a bit weird sometimes. I'm at this very beautiful landscape and I'm shooting a bit of a debris here from an old boat or construction or something. It's a couple of planks and some wood and whatnot. But that was drew my eye at this place, what kind of stood out to me. So framing that at the bottom right and then having a small little boulder in the background. Shot at f/16 and 1/30 of a second. f/16 so I can get most of the scene in focus. Everything won't be tag sharp, but I think it will be acceptable sharp at least. We haven't moved far. I moved perhaps 20 meters. We actually photographed in the same boulder I had as a background interest in my last image, and it's the background interest in this image as well. I really like this little coast strip of coast here, or this little coastline here. The rocks here, or the cliffs here, are a bit smoother. They have a bit of pattern to them, which is quite interesting. The pattern here is kind of a sweeping S curve almost with a puddle, and yeah, it works quite well. Quite careful about the corners there, so it has a nice flow to it. I hope the image works out. I'm going to stick around here a bit more, find a couple more interesting compositions. I think there's a lot of potential here, and this might be actually where we'll spend the evening when I'm out with the large format, as this is kind of the scout trip with the Hasselblad, and then we'll go out in the evening as well with the large format and try to make the best of the evening light. So this landscape is incredible, especially here with the smooth rocks and the patterns among the cliffs here. Very interesting to explore with the camera, especially shooting black and white. And I could spend hours here, but we are going to move on. I just finished off the roll in the camera with the Hasselblad, shooting once again the pattern on these rocks, like this circular feeling with the patterns. There's a couple of patches of seaweed within the frame that are quite dark. There's some red among them, but they are really dark and will render really dark. Then we have a boulder slightly up towards the left of the frame as a secondary subject. The main subject is this pattern, this lovely pattern. I thought I already had finished the video, or this part of the video, but I'm having a lot of fun here. This part of the half island is much more interesting and fun to explore, I think. Especially enjoying shooting these like small little pools that we have here behind me. In this circumstance, in this case, on this image, we have this almost tooth-shaped rock formation that look kind of interesting to me. Put on a polarizer to take away some of the glare so you can see the rock beneath the surface. Could work. And yeah, just having a play with the Hassie here. And we'll see if any of the images turns out. But yeah, I reckon I might even finish off this roll as well. I also took an image on the way and a couple more. I'll see what I put out on the screen, but it is an awesome place to be, and I'm just having a play in the sun. Welcome back, I suppose. We are back at the same location here that we were earlier today. This lovely coastline here, and I brought out the large format, my lovely Szabad air. And I'm photographing a couple of puddles here that I found quite interesting. They were quite dark, and then the setting sun made the shadows a bit longer, and emphasizing that darkness of the puddles even more, as there's a couple of rocks next to them. And the most important part here, there's a small little flower. That was actually what I was trying to frame. There grows these small little flowers in between the cracks of the cliffs, and I find them quite interesting. So that's what we're photographing. Once again, I kind of utilized the back tilt as a front tilt. As you can see, the camera is on an angle, and then I kind of pulled back the back tilt slightly to not neutral, but a couple of degrees. Essentially, I think it should be the same as a front tilt, which would give me a bit deeper depth of field, just pushing down the focal plane. It's shot at f32 and 1 second. I've only taken one exposure. I'm going to take another one of this as well, just where I neutralize the back tilt here to neutral position, as I actually used a bit of a drop on the front element as well to get the framing correct. So I'm not sure if the image circle is big enough. I think it is, but I'll do that as well. And we are going to try and finish off at least the 4x5 sheets. I will have 2 film holders left with 4x5. Then I have 3 film holders with 9x12. However, I don't have any markings for 9x12 on the ground glass anymore, as I replaced it. My plan is to do a couple markings myself. I haven't really got around to it, and I don't really know how I should go about it. If I should use like a Sharpie or something like that, or if I should use a bit of a tape, some gaffer tape maybe, or something like that. If you have a suggestion, do leave a comment, please. I do highly appreciate any help I can get. So yeah. One more exposure here, and then we'll try and make a couple more images. I'm kind of feeling the rocks here. We'll see what we can make of it. We made it to sunset. Was a bit caught out by how fast the sun sets behind the hill here behind me. A beautiful sunset, and we had this really incredible glow of the rocks. Really beautiful. Luckily I don't shoot the colors, I don't have to chase the colors. We managed I managed one last frame with the 4x5 now. Kind of was intrigued. It's a bit rushed, I must say, but I was a bit intrigued by like the trees and bushes between two of the cliffs here, or the rocks. And on that side we have this kind of rough cliffs, this cubistic cliffs, a bit rocky cliffs if you like. And on this side it's smooth cliffs. Kind of interesting to me, that contrast and that layer in between, so kind of 3 layers in the frame. And then in the foreground we have kind of a leading line, a small little turn in amongst these smooth cliffs. Might work, we'll see when we have the film developed as always. Kind of went with f/22 and about 5 seconds, just kind of losing light, and I added a couple of seconds just to make sure, and this Foamapans is quite versatile. I hope it works out. And I think that's it for this little trip. I'm just going to pack up, start heading back to the car and get back to the little cabin I rented. Lovely, lovely evening. It's incredible sunset. So I'm going to enjoy the hike back here and towards this very lovely full moon we have tonight. I think it's time to end the video here. Thank you for joining me on this little photography trip. And I'll see you in the next one. Do take care and bye.